Of course, they can send it to you via email telling you that you can download 10 free images. They changed the site a bit. Now you can download 10 images and they send the email to you allowing you to download those 10 images for free from this site. They changed the site a bit. Initially, it used to give you images with a green mark that you could download for free. So he paid for it. Aman. Time is a site that is almost different from its policy, and it downloads for you approximately 10 free images from this site every month. The important thing is that this site has a lot of requests. Frankly, set a virtual background to create an illusion, like sitting by the sea or in a palace. Appear in a library or TV frame, like Dr. Sammy, where you're sitting. By the sea with a library behind you, we often see a lot of people with a library behind them, and you might think, wow, is he sitting in his house? For example, someone could be sitting in a very beautiful palace while giving a lecture, but it's not a palace at all. He just chose a picture that looks virtual, you know? Also, if you want to apply a filter, like Dr. Sammy, you can place yourself in a TV frame or something like that. I tried to put my picture in a TV frame. If I remove my hand from the camera, my picture will appear here. So, while I'm explaining to the students, I'm also explaining on the TV. If I took my hand off the camera, my picture would be here like this. So, while I'm explaining to the students, I'm also explaining on the TV. Is the idea clear? I mean, this is a way to enhance lecture, you know? So, of course, you can do this. They call it the 50 backgrounds or virtual background effects and stuff like that. So I'm not using the camera in general. Okay? All right? Now we come to this very important lie, which is security. The security feature is very important, folks. The security button is crucial, and there are some features that I consider essential for you to pay attention to. Security means you have control over the session. So as soon as you click on the security button, a lot of options will pop up. Be careful if you want to lock the session so that no student can enter. Just like I said, it's like locking the door. You can set it to lock meeting. Even if a student has the link or the ID, they won't be able to enter. Once the meeting is locked, it's done. No waiting room, no hassle. Just lock it down. No student can enter at all. Just like I told you, it's like locking the door. You set it to lock meeting, and that's it. Even if a student has the link or the ID, they won't be able to get in. Once it's locked, it's done. No waiting room, no hassle, just lock it down. In this case, if this situation is true, then no, you can enter it. This is indeed the very first thing. And it is important to note that you'll see some tools available in the Blackboard, dangerous tools, Zoom, Sirius. This is the first control. Keep it open, okay? You're in some sessions, I suggest it. Then I come back in 10 minutes and close it, so no one can say, I was late, doctor, but you didn't notice me. Just close it. I know who has excuses, so just close it. Enable the waiting room. It means anyone late waits outside. They wait outside. Enable waiting room. So if someone leaves, they can't come back without my approval. If someone leaves, they can't come back. I must approve them. If a colleague leaves, it shows a message saying 2 people are in the waiting room. Clicking admit all lets them in. There's 1 more person, and they just entered. If not clicked, they stay outside. Latecomers wait outside until I approve. I turned on the waiting room, so if someone leaves, they need my approval to return. I must approve their re-entry. If a colleague leaves, it shows 2 people in the waiting room. Clicking admit all lets them in. Another person just entered. If I don't click, they stay outside because I activated the feature. Latecomers wait outside until I approve. Keep in mind, you can tell a late student, I know you're late, after 15 minutes. For hide profile picture, click hide to show only your name to students. If I click on admit all, it means I'm letting them in here. I just click like this and they will enter. Here, they are in. There's 1 more person and they just entered. If I don't click to let them in, they will stay outside. Why? Because I activated the feature that anyone who comes late stays outside waiting until I approve and see who is coming late. So keep that in mind. You can tell a student who comes late, I know you're late, and I can do this after a quarter of an hour has passed. Now, regarding the hide profile picture option, if you don't want your picture to be visible to the students, you can click on hide and then only your name will appear. If you want to show it, just click again and my picture will appear. Is that clear, everyone? I can see who's coming in late, right? So keep that in mind. You can activate it. It means you're telling a student, hey, you're late. I can do this after a quarter of an hour has passed, for example. All right, now about the hide profile picture option. If you don't want your picture to be visible to the students, you just click on hide and then only my name will appear. If you want to show it, just click again and my picture will show up. Is that clear, everyone? Now, if you want to share your screen, we're going to talk about that now. It's important. Sometimes some students start talking to each other while the teacher is working, and that really annoys me. The most annoying thing is when a student talks to another student while I'm trying to explain something. My name appears, but if you want to show it, click like this and my picture will appear. Is that clear, guys? Okay. If you want to share your screen, we're going to talk about that now. It's important. Sometimes some students start talking to each other while the teacher is working, and that really annoys me. The most annoying thing is when a student talks to another student while I'm trying to explain something. It's like I'm explaining to myself. So I'm going to completely disable the chat for them. So when I disable the chat, so pay attention to this matter. Write it down. You have to write it down. Everyone should write it down, folks. There won't be any confusion at all. If I put a check mark, pay attention, everyone. Look, I just got a message saying what? It says Dr. Ibrahim is present in the Idlegrom, waiting the chance to agree to enter or not. All right, what is he agreeing to? To enter? Okay. Now things are clear to you? Is it clear, everyone, so far? Really did remove it. Here I am judging that we are waiting for the need, and this is an advantage, frankly, an advantage of Zoom. Zoom controls everything. Returning to chat. Restoring it, you can write normally in the chat, no problem. The word rename, yes, Bara, some write hot, and the message from Bara comes in. Hey, Bara's message is in since I reopened chat. What is rename? Rename means some change names in sessions. Instead of Sammy, they write Soso. How do I know who Soso is? Identify yourself. Or write I am. What is that? Rename yourself. What is rename? Rename means that there are some people. When I enter certain sessions or some students who are with us, they change their names. Instead of a student named Sammy, for example, they write themselves as Soso. My dear, how am I supposed to know who Soso is? Identify yourself. Or they write something like M. What is that? In the first lecture, I tell the students to write their full 3-part names. Don't enter until you write your full 3-part name. And after they all write their full 3-part names, they are going to remove the check mark from the front of rename completely. In this case, the student can no longer speak. He can no longer do it. This is an important task. Everyone, the student can no longer do it. Why? Pay attention. When this check mark is activated, the student can no longer change their name. Pay attention. Again, everyone, again, if I leave this check mark on, the student comes and says their name like this. They say their name like this. And he can do a rename. He changes his name. But if I move the check mark like this, the student can't pass the name. That's it. If I keep it like this, it will remain the same name. Okay? So I don't want to ask everyone to change their name and do a job absence or not absence. He should write to someone named SimSim, and he should write to someone, I don't know what, he should write to someone, for example, iPhone. iPhone what? I'm going to bring a device. So it becomes a problem. Of course, sound of the call to prayer is coming. So I don't want to, I took from the call to prayer, let's take a break and come back again. Yes, that's right, Dr. Ali. The time is 6:14. We'll be back, everyone, at 6:05. Is 6:05 suitable? That should be enough time. Great, great, God. Bless you, Dr. Ahmed. So we'll have a half-hour break, and you'll pray Maghrib during that time. All right, everyone, we'll come back at 6:05, God willing. Let's take a break and return at 6:05, God willing. God bless you, and hopefully, during the time after Maghrib, we can... So you'll have a half hour to pray Maghrib. All right, everyone, let's come back at 6:05, God willing. We'll take a break and return at 6:05, God willing. God bless you, and hopefully, during the time after Maghrib, we can